up guys, welcome back to my channel. This is OCD Movie Reviews, my name is Owen Zabringa, and today we are going to review the latest Disney live action adaptation, Cruella. This movie just streamed on Disney Plus and also came out in theaters. This movie took from the director of I, Tonya and stars Emma Stone and Emma Thompson. 2 Emmas in one movie. That's something we need to see. Basically, this movie is about Estella, played by Emma Stone. Her dream is to be a fashion designer. Until things go in the way that's involved with Emma Thompson's character, that she has to change her identity completely to Cruella de Vil, one of the best Disney villains, in my opinion, of all time. I would say probably in my top 5. For this movie, though, I was not anticipating to see Cruella, because Disney live action adaptation, I'm starting to slowly despise these live action movies. Now, the thing is, I liked most of them, including Aladdin, Jungle Book, Cinderella, even Beauty and the Beast. I enjoyed those movies. Those movies are basically their own versions of the movies we loved. But movies like The Lion King, it just feels like a copy and paste adaptation. And movies that tries to be way too different than it is, like Mulan last year, really makes me not like these Disney live action films as much anymore. So I have no hope for this movie. Even though I like the director of this movie, he directed I, Tonya, which I really did like. And Emma Stone, great actress. I think it's a good casting choice for Cruella. I think she has that charm that Cruella has. I can see that in her. And also Emma Thompson. I love Emma Thompson as an actress. She's great in comedy, she's great in dramas. So we got a good cast in this film. The problem is, it's another one of those unnecessary Disney live action adaptations that we don't need, basically. We need more originality from Disney again. So when I saw Cruella, I saw this in theaters, I had no anticipation. Guys, Cruella really surprised me. I gotta say, probably one of the better Disney live action films that came out in a very, very long time. Because the thing about Cruella that I actually liked about this movie is that this is not technically a remake, or a reboot, or even a prequel. This felt like its own thing, even though it is technically kind of a prequel because it tells the story of how Estella became Cruella de Vil. This movie felt like its own thing. It didn't really feel like a live action adaptation in my opinion. I think the casting of Cruella was fantastic. We got Emma Stone as Cruella. Of course, love this actress. She blew me away as Cruella de Vil. I really enjoyed her in this film. She did a really fantastic performance in this film. Her character kind of reminds me of Arthur Fleck / Joker in the 2019 Joker movie. Her character, you feel very, very sympathy for, but then when you watch the movie towards, you start to not feel sympathy because she turns into the villain, basically. And I really liked her performance in this film. Emma Stone was very believable in this film as young Cruella de Vil, and I think probably one of her better performances that I've seen her in a very long time. But Emma Thompson in this film was phenomenal, was just flawless in my opinion. I think her performance in this film was so good. I was enjoying her character a lot in this film. Like when we introduced her character, the first 5 seconds, I loved Emma Thompson as her character. You don't feel like it's Emma Thompson, you feel like she's playing this character. I forgot the villain's name, I apologize. Her character in this film was just really menacing. Like, you just hated her character throughout. And Emma Thompson does a great job in this movie playing the character that we love to hate. I love Emma Thompson in this film. Also, we get Horace and Jasper in this film as well. 2 actors I know, one of them from Yesterday, the other from Richard Jewell. These 2 guys in this movie were fantastic in the film and definitely adds a lot of theme into this movie for family and friendship because they have a chemistry as well with Cruella in the film. They felt like family in this film. Their chemistry with Cruella was really, really heartfelt in this film. But also the spark in this film as well. I love them 3 together and the performances by them 2 are really great in this film. Like I remember from the original film, I have not seen the Glenn Close one. I'm sorry, I apologize. I know Glenn Close is more iconic than the original Cruella de Vil, but I remember in the original 101 Dalmatians, Jasper and Horace are 2 bumbling idiots that do their job for Cruella. So I like that they build characters to them in this film. They explore more of Jasper and Horace's story more in this film. Now, I just want to say with this film, I gotta warn the kids for this film because I would say this is not really a kids film. Actually, I would say this is the most mature that I've seen with these Disney live action adaptations. There are parts in Cruella that are actually pretty dark and really disturbing at parts in this film. Not like disturbing, like R-rated disturbing, of course it's a Disney film. But there are parts in Cruella that might scare the kids a little bit, especially the opening. The opening was actually really, really dark. So I'm just going to let warning for kids for that, so watch this movie with an adult. But the thing that really stood out for me in Cruella was absolutely the production design of this movie. Especially when it comes to the costume design. Now, hear me out. Like I said with A Quiet Place Part 2, if that doesn't get nominated for Best Sound Editing, I'll be mad. If Cruella hasn't gotten nominated for Best Costume Design, I will be extremely mad because the costume design in this film, I don't often say that in my reviews, but the costume design in this movie was flawless. I love the costumes in this film. Some of the costumes that I honestly felt so unbelieved of how they even made it. Like, there are parts of this film where I'm like, how the hell they made those costumes? Like, the costumes in this movie are spectacular. They felt like characters in this film also. And the look of this movie, the feel of this movie, this definitely goes for the feel of 70s rock era. That's where Cruella took place, basically, in 1970s London. And I really liked the whole environment of this film where it took place. I liked that director's vision for that. And I think the story, for the most part of this movie, was very entertaining. At parts, it felt like a Martin Scorsese film at parts. Like, in a good way, basically. It's like it took inspirations for all the great films that Martin Scorsese has done and make it into a Disney film. So basically, this is Martin Scorsese's Disney film that isn't really made by him. I don't think Cruella is a perfect movie though. I do think it's definitely one of the most enjoyable live action films for a while. I'm so happy that I did enjoy a Disney live action adaptation. I would say probably my biggest issue with this film though is the soundtrack. I think the soundtrack of this movie is good, but there is way too many songs in this movie. This basically goes to the Suicide Squad flaws where there's way too many soundtracks they put in a lot of scenes of this movie. This movie does it 10 times up. There's a lot of scenes with the soundtrack in this movie, and there are parts where I'm like, they didn't need to put that song there, like seriously. There are parts in this film I'm like, wait, how many songs are in this movie? There's way too many songs in Cruella. Like, it's like every 10 minutes there's a new song, and it's all 70s song, and I get it. Once again, they're trying to go for this 70s rock feel to it. But I felt like the soundtrack of this movie really overbears itself. There's a lot of songs in this movie, and it just overdoes it. Like, the soundtrack just overdoes the film a lot. Also, this film is 2 hours long. Like, this film is actually way too long than it actually is. There are parts in Cruella which I wish they could have cut out a bit. There are some development in this film that I'm like, okay, it's not terrible, but I wish they could have cut that out to make this movie at least paced a bit better. Because I felt like this movie was way too long than it actually is. But guys, overall, I enjoyed myself with Cruella. I really was surprised by this film. Definitely a year full of surprises, that's for sure. This movie has some great cinematography, great acting, especially from Emma Stone and Emma Thompson especially. The character development, the whole look of this movie, the production design, really stood out for me. And it's really interesting to see how Estella became Cruella de Vil. I like prequels like that where you see someone becoming something iconic. Guys, I recommend you to see Cruella as soon as you can because I'm going to give Cruella a B+. I know guys, it's been 2 weeks since I uploaded my last review. Again, I gotta keep saying this, the uploading process is just gonna take a little while, so probably every week or every 2 weeks I'll be uploading a video because I need to focus on school and all that stuff. But I don't want to give up on this channel because I love this channel guys. I love doing movie reviews for you guys, but don't worry. There's a lot of reviews coming up very, very, very soon, including an updated Blu-ray collection, which I'm going to explain to you in that video why I'm doing it again. But for now, I'm going to review a lot of movies. I'm going to see a lot of movies this weekend. So guys, let me know what you think of Cruella. I know it's a late review, but anyway, it's here now, right? So guys, what do you guys think of Cruella? Do you like the movie, hate the movie? Are you watching this movie in theaters? Are you streaming on Disney+? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you guys follow me on social media links down below. Facebook, Stardust, Instagram, Twitter. Keep contact with me. And make sure you guys subscribe to my channel and notify for my latest movie reviews. And have a nice day.